Let's get more on the story and go to Ran Bar Yoshafat, who is in Tel Aviv. He's the Deputy Director of the Kohelet Policy Forum. Many thanks for speaking to us. Is it unusual that some Palestinians have decided to take part in these particular local elections?
Well, I think that you've mixed apples and oranges. Israeli Arabs who are citizens actually vote more than the Jewish community in Israel. They usually vote more than 80% in the municipalities. Arabs who are not citizens of Israel, who are under the Palestinian Authority, are not Israeli citizens, so they have a different election system. It's not unusual. I think it's wonderful that Israel, being the only place in the Middle East where Arabs can actually fulfill the democratic right and vote, I think that's a beautiful thing, and I encourage all of the Israeli Arabs to go and vote, and they actually do vote. They actually vote, again, in percentage more than the Jewish population.
But a large percentage have boycotted the elections, haven't they?
No, a very tiny percentage. You're talking about probably the Druze community in Ramat HaGolan, which is the first time after 41 years that they've decided that they want to take part in the Israeli election and not in the Syrian election. And that's a tiny, tiny percentage. And also in eastern Jerusalem, the vast majority are actually very active. There's even an Arab party that's running. There are people who are calling them not to take part. Now, this is very interesting because the municipality election has very little to do with actual politics. I mean, it's mainly about who's going to clean the streets, who's going to take care of the education for our children. So I wouldn't really understand why people would encourage the Israeli Arabs not to take part in this. I think that the more participation that they will have, the better it'll be for them, obviously, and also for all of Israel. So no, it's a tiny minority. By numbers, you can definitely see that the Arabs are very active, very participative in this election process, which makes sense because it has nothing to do with your political agenda. It's about who's going to clean your streets.
So looking at these particular elections, how do you think the Arabs that are taking part are expected to do?
Well, I hope that they will do great. I wish the best of luck to all of the citizens of all of the cities. If there are cities that are mainly within Arab majority, or if it's cities that are very mixed with Jews and Arabs together, I think that a mayor of every city needs to take care of all of the citizens of that city. And I can only wish for our neighbors in the Gaza Strip and in the Palestinian Authority area that they will have this wonderful opportunity to live in a democracy where you can change your mayor if you're not happy with your mayor.
You say that the Arabs participate in these elections, but there is general voter apathy when it comes to these sort of municipal elections. As I understand it, to the extent that the government has offered people a day off so that they can participate. Is that right?
That is correct, but that's a very interesting point that you make there. That's mainly for the Jewish population. The Arab population in the municipality election have a very high participation rate. It's about 10% more than the Jewish rate. Usually the Jews vote between 70%, 60 to 70% in the municipality elections. The Arabs, usually it's 80% and above. Some towns and cities is actually 90% and above. This year, the government said we're going to have an experiment. We're going to say it's going to be a day off. So no one will have an excuse not to go and vote. And if they'll see that the percentage has gone up, they'll see that this is an incentive that will be used in future years. If they'll see that people have not taken the time to get out of their chair and vote, then maybe they will cancel it in our next election for the municipality. But actually, for the Arab population, that is a really bad example. I think that it's a very bad example to say that they're boycotting it because their participation is greater than the Jewish one. And again, it makes a lot of sense. We're talking about people who want to have a better education for their children. They want to have clean streets. They want to have nice parks to travel in. So, of course, they will participate, and I'm very happy that they do so. It's wonderful to live in a country where you have the right to vote.
Ran Bar Yoshafat speaking to us there from Tel Aviv. Many thanks.